Hello. Yes, I hope you can see this my screen. I'm currently at the main site of FreshForex. As you can see, we are on the bonus page. So the first things first, let's first mention this clearly. I'm actually saying this because somebody sent me an email requesting to know how they can get this bonus. Apparently they had deposited 500 USD and they realized they needed this deposit here. They needed the money increased to around 1,500 through the bonus. So to get to the bonus, just go to the main site because I have no special link for this, and just go to this site here, FreshForex. You have it loaded. That's how it will look normally. And then bonus, then you move to the very first one there, and then ensure you read everything on this page. Just understand everything. Take your time, read this, and then to get the bonus, these are the conditions. These are the three most important ones. That you need to open an account, verify the personal data, and then the account which you've opened has to be either Classic MT4 or Classic MT5 or Market Pro MT4. Then fund the account, and then you get the bonus. So to read other terms, I know they are here. We have them all below here. So we want to move to today's market overview, at least so that we see what we have for today. If there's anything good, we'll just look at that and then we see what we have. So we'll start with Euro USD. Just a second, is here. I'm going to load it afresh because there are some things which you need to mention here. We didn't actually look at them yesterday, so today will be the best time to actually try to understand them. So if you can remember, some few weeks ago I mentioned that this was a key level. We had a level at this point, and then I also did put a line at the top. Then I mentioned that this is a key level and that as long as the price does not cross below it, we are actually looking for a buy. So the opposite happened. The price went below where we wanted to buy from here, and is still below that place. So on the lower end we have this level here. This is just a good support. Also there's another good support there. So what these two means is that this is a key level, and therefore as long as the price does not close beyond 1.1540, this should be a good sell place towards 1.0482. So basically this just as a resistance being broken becomes a support, and then the same support being broken, and now this is a resistance. So all you should be doing now is to look for a sell from here. So this should be it. Just look for a sell as long as the price does not clearly ascend beyond 1.1540. This should be a very good place to sell from. Pick a sell from somewhere within this zone, and then have a take profit at 1.0482. So monthly, let's see. On the monthly chart, this line is still significant. It has to be broken clearly before we can actually say that the price is upwards or it's going down. We have a level here, significant one, and then you also have a level here which is significant on the monthly chart. So what we want to happen, if you are on the monthly, then this should be the place to look for. We have a support being broken, a resistance, and then on the lower side still remains the same. So either the price may head down, or if it is to go up, then the maximum it should go up to is this level here. This is just a resistance, and this is just another good support, a support both on the monthly and also on the weekly chart. So we want to mark this just a support. We have a support there, and then the same line has been broken, and therefore this is now a resistance. So should price come back to this place here, then you should look for a sell from within that place. Like that. This should be the correct place to sell from. So a resistance, it went down, should come back so that you sell it for the second time. But according to the weekly, you're already supposed to be looking for a sell. So either you look for that sell or you wait for price to come back to somewhere around here so that you can sell it on the longest time possible. So there's a level here which is a trend line, which I found very good. Apparently whatever I'm doing now is something which I'm supposed to have done at the beginning of the month or end of this month, but it's still okay. We are closing the month, so we need to start looking at it from the way I'm looking at it. We have here a resistance, we also have a resistance, and then we expect the same place to be a resistance. So this last one should be the very best place to look for a sell from. And I'll add an indicator, maybe MACD, to see if we have the columns are below. Yes, we are currently crossing below, which means there's a potential sell coming up. So according to this chart, I've explained everything. I'm not going to add much. We move to the next pair, which is GBPUSD here. And GBPUSD, we have a level at this point. Just a second. We have a level there. We also have a good level here, and then we also have a very good level at the very top, which is here. Yes. So there's a point here. We have a level here, a resistance, a support, broken. Price should come from this point to the lower side, to the upper side. So assuming this week's candle closes as an inside bar, like it does not close above the previous highest high and it does not close below the previous lowest low, then this should be a very good place to buy from. So either way, like as long as you're still looking at this chart, this is a break above, we have an inside bar, and then we are waiting for that clear buy signal to pick a buy up to 1.3756. So I hope this should make some little sense. Like let's move to daily. On the daily, I had a line at this point yesterday, and then I mentioned that this was a good resistance here, a resistance, and then there's a resistance here, a second resistance somewhere here, like this, a resistance, and then we have the same resistance being broken at this point. So actually we took a buy when price was breaking above. We took a buy from this point. I hope you can still remember it, a support, a support, a support. We saw this as a false break, then we took a buy from this point. So with that buy, we actually expected price to come back up to this place here, which it did, and then we expected it to proceed up to this point here. So far we can see there's a break above, and then it has failed to sustain that break above. Instead we are on the lower side. So we are basically waiting for price to clearly ascend above the same level again, if that is possible, like this, then retrace back to the same place before we take a buy towards this point here, the very line at the top. So this will be a good place to buy from in the future. That is, if should price again rise beyond this point, we wait for a retracement so that we can buy it for the second time upwards towards 1.4336. So we'll move to the next chart, which is USDJPY, and we have that chart here. I'll start off with the one we have already, and I'm going to try to explain exactly why I have these lines drawn like this. So as you can see, one line is pointing upwards, and then we have the other line pointing the opposite direction. So what these lines means is that according to what happened, this is a key support, a support, a support, there's a break below, price broke above it, a support, then it went up, then there's a second support here. So we expected actually a buy from this point. So like price went up as we expected it, but instead of proceeding upwards, it's actually pulling back to the left side. This move here, the one you've seen from last week, this red candle may just be a retracement back to this level here, 108.37. So If that is true, that this is just a retracement, then we'll buy it again from this point, expect price to proceed higher, break above this point here, retrace, so that we can pick a buy ultimately towards 117.81. So I hope that should make some little sense. That's why we have this green thick line, this red thick line pointing up, and then there's this other one which is thin. What this thin one means is that assuming price does not bounce from this point 108.37, but instead it breaks below, then we'll wait for a retracement back to the same place, so that we pick a sell from that point up to this point here, 104.63. So that should be a bit clearer now that we're actually waiting. There are two cases: the price may bounce from this point so that we buy, or it may break below so that we sell. So either way, the best you should do is to just wait for whatever will happen. A bounce from this point, you pick a buy, or a break below so that you can sell it towards 104.63. So I'll also try to look at it from the least time frame possible, maybe 4 hours, lesser time frame, just in case somebody wants to trade that less time frame. We have this point here. This is just a level I had yesterday, and then we have a support, a trend line support. Then we have the next good support here, and then we also have a support here which was broken. Then there's a resistance and a sell place there, and price went down. Should try coming back so that you can sell it for the second time. So whatever I've drawn on the chart now, this should be the correct place to sell from. We have a level here. Not necessarily the price will come back to this place. Sometimes the price may just come up to this horizontal support and then ends up to the lower side. So assuming you sell it from maybe somewhere here, if you look for a sell, this is the place to sell from. Just expect price to go up to either this point, or should go up to this point here. So either way, a move like this is likely. Like the price may head down, then retrace back like that before it extends even lower like this. So you should sell here, the first place to sell from, and then you should also sell on the very top. So this is just the best case, assuming that the price extend upwards, like it does not go down as you said. Instead it begins to move even higher. Then a break above this point will be the best place to buy from. A support, there's a break below. Should price again ascend above it, then that will be the correct place to buy from. As it is, this is still a sell, and therefore only look for a sell. So we'll move to the next pair, which is SP500 symbol. It's an index. So I have my lines drawn just the same as I had them yesterday. I've not changed anything. A support, we have a break, and then you have a similar break upwards. Then price retraced back, could not go any lower, it went up and back to the same place. So somehow this was a false break to the lower side, which means that as long as the price does not cross again below it for the second time, this is a good place to buy from. And with that buy, you should expect a move upwards. Should break above 2814.4, retrace back, you buy it for the second time towards 2928.0. So this is what you need to expect in the longest time possible. Like price should hedge even higher, should extend higher, something like this is likely. So this was on the bullish case. As if I want to sell this pair, which I don't recommend any sell, I'll only sell if price goes below this level here. This is the main support which price has to clearly go below so that we can continue selling it even further to the other side. So I want to tell you why I'm saying this. I'm not recommending any sell on this. Why I'm insisting that only a buy looks ideal for me. Look at this chart from the weekly point of view. The very first thing you're seeing is this. We have last week's candle was actually a pin bar and an inside pin bar. What this means is that we expect a move even higher. So you confirm that with the trend, you can see for almost 10 years now we've been up since this is 2008. Price went up, retraced, up, retraced, then it went up, retraced, then it went up, retraced, up, then we've seen this massive retracement. So this is just a correction. It does not mean that the trend is changing to the lower side. So I'm treating it as a retracement because we've not seen, it has not retraced significantly compared to the main move to the upper side. So I'll want to delete these lines here, and I'm remaining only with the buy position. I'm expecting price to move up instead of down, but there's only one case when I'm going to sell if such a thing happens. If price goes below this level here, the lowest place we've seen like since last year, below this point, then this should be the best place to sell from. Otherwise I'm not doing anything, and we'll confirm that with an indicator MACD. So we have the columns of MACD being below 0.00, but as you can see, I want you to look at this like this. Like from this point we see like, let me start from the past. Like only during this time, between this time and this time, was price below, was the columns of MACD below 00 for the longest time. Like it stayed here for a little. This was a long time, since 2007 to 2004, like 2 years it was just down. Then after that you can see every time it goes below 00, it actually remains for the shortest time possible, then proceeds up, remains for the shortest time possible, then proceeds up, and then for the shortest time possible proceeds up, shortest time proceeds up. Then we see at this point it has gone down, and we don't expect it to remain here for the longest time. We actually, it should not remain here for any time it begins to ascend above 00, then that will be the correct place to look for a buy from. So actually that should be either a retracement back to this point or a break above this point here. These are only the two cases where I'm going to buy. Either the price retrace back to this point, or it breaks above this point, retrace back so that you can buy it. Either way, the best I recommend at the moment is that you're supposed to look for a buy. So we move to Brent oil here, and this one here I'm going to look at it from the daily. Yesterday we actually recommended a sell from the 4 hours, but somehow it managed to break to stop us. So it's still a sell despite the fact that we were stopped yesterday. A support, price went back, a support, we have a break, then there's a resistance, it went down, a resistance, then it went down, a resistance, it went down, a resistance, it went down. Should come back to the same place so that we can look for a sell. So while the price is below this level here, this is a sell, but assuming something like this happens, assuming price ascends above that zone, then a retracement back to the same place will mean we're looking for a buy. This will mean we're looking for a good buy position up to a level here, and the next one should be somewhere here, and then we have the last one at the very top here. So these are just the 3 places to look for a buy: either a break above, retracement so that you buy it, the next one, the third one, and then we have the last one. And on the lower side, as long as we're below this zone here, this is a sell. So we'll move to the next chart, which is gold. And gold, nothing has changed much. We are still actually looking for a buy. We have this zone here, which was broken yesterday. We actually closed above it. We want price to extend slightly higher, retrace back down, then we'll pick a buy from within this zone up to 1357.28, which is here. So this is the best place. This is a very good place to be selling from. If you're not in any trade at the moment and maybe you want to pick a sell, then just know that the correct place to look for that sell is at the top here. Wait for that sell here, but as long as the price remains above this zone, this should be a buy up to 1357.28. I'm going to delete this. Apparently I don't think we'll need it. So the best thing you should be doing now is just wait for price to extend slightly higher, then wait for that retracement, and then wait for a very good sales buy signal from within this zone up to 1357.28. so I want to check for us if there's anything. Actually, on the forward chart, let me load a new chart. On the forward chart we have something else. On the forward chart should be there. To remove the ask line, this red line that keeps moving on the chart is called ask line. Remove it. So if you're on the forward chart, then there's a key level here which price may want to retrace back up to maybe in the future. This is a good level here. That's a very good zone. So just a resistance, price went down, a resistance, it went down, should come back, didn't come back though. So we want price after this retracement, it should again come back to the same place maybe in the future. So it may come back. We're not saying it has to come back, it may come back again to this line in the future. If it does not come back, well and good, we still look for a buy upwards. But in case it comes back down, then this should be the correct place to buy from. Check 5 now. 1 hour, the level is slightly lower somewhere here. A resistance down, a resistance down, then we've seen that break, a support up, then a support, and the price may come back to it in the future. So we are not confirming that it will come back, but in case it comes back, then this is the correct place to sell, to buy from. So we've looked at all the pairs we have. We have just everything we need. We have gold, we have GBP/USD, we have EUR/USD, we have USD/JPY, we have Brent oil, then we have SP500. So the last and the most important thing is this, and I mentioned it at the beginning. I'm going to repeat it just for anyone who didn't get it at the beginning. So this is a bonus which I'm mentioning. Is anyone can apply to it as long as you have a FreshForex account, and that account has to be either this classic MT4 account or classic MT5 account, or this one, Market Pro MT4 account. So there are also tons of terms and conditions which you need to read first before you apply for it. You have all this. Ensure you read up to the last close, which is 12.0. So the most important thing is that you still have time. Just ensure you apply for it on time. This bonus goes up to 28th of February 2019. That's a lot of time, and anyone can literally get it. So let's leave it at that. We meet again tomorrow at the same time. Sorry, we'll meet again in the afternoon. I'll be doing a similar webinar on trend lines and dynamic level. So we are going to look to expand on trend lines. You see how somebody can trade trend lines, how you can enter trades, when to use trend lines, and also dynamic levels. So thank you very much. See you again in the afternoon.